What's up guys, Joel from Modafinil Expert here, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about a few different dosing experiments and cycles that I've done, the results I've gotten from them, and which ones I can recommend. And as I always say, the best way to get results from Modafinil is you need to cycle on and cycle off. It makes no logical sense to stay on this stuff year round. It doesn't make any sense because your body's just going to get used to it and you're going to have diminishing returns and you're going to feel shitty in the long run. So when I say cycle, what I mean is when I'm on, it's a set period of time that I'm using Modafinil. When I cycle off, it's kind of the period where I'm not using Modafinil. So for example, if I say I'm cycling 1 week on, 1 week off, that means for that whole 1 week I'm using Modafinil every day, and then the following week when I'm off I won't use any Modafinil during that time. And the thing to keep in mind is for all of these experiments, the dosage that I used was always 200 milligrams. I was very careful never to up my dosage. Some people like to do that. They think, oh well, if I get good results from 200 milligrams, then why not use 300 milligrams? And I didn't do that, at least not for these experiments. So something to keep in mind when I tell you about the kinds of results that I got and what you can expect. So here we go. First one, cycle number 1, every day for a month straight. For every single day for 1 month, I took 200 milligrams of Modafinil upon rising, and I would use that to coast my way throughout the whole day. And I gotta say, this was pretty fun. I mean, one thing that you notice when you're using Modafinil for an extended period of time, like a month straight with no breaks, is you don't really have a problem like staying awake during the day. I mean, after all, it is a wakefulness agent, and one of my issues was, if I didn't want to do something, or if I had a hard day the day before, halfway through the day, come lunch hour, whatever, feel tired, feel shitty. When I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like getting out of bed, pop a Modafinil, and I'm ready to go. Of course, that's not a permanent solution for the long run, but it worked wonders for that whole month. And during that month, I was going through a cutting regimen. I was cutting weight, and I have to say the Modafinil certainly helped with that tremendously. Now, the bad part. Once that month was over, since I was using it every single day, when I came off, well, the immediate result when I came off was I had a huge energy crash. I probably slept for about 18 hours in the few days that I came off of it. Not for a few days. That was a few days after I came off of it. I crashed for a good 18 hours. And for a good week or so, my energy levels were kind of low. It didn't feel too good, but after a week, kind of got back to normal, went back in the hang of things. As far as tolerance goes, around the 2.5 week mark, I could notice that it wasn't working as good as it was when I was using another cycle. So my solution to this was to just have some coffee nearby and just sip on it throughout the day. Really, no matter what cycle you're using, coffee and water, those are your two go-to substances, I guess. Once I passed that 2.5, 3 week mark, I did notice a significant increase in the amount of coffee that I was drinking every day. And in the short run, it didn't really have any kind of negative effects on me. I guess I was a little bit sleep deprived, but other than that, no big deal. Alright, cycle number 2. similar to the first one. I would use it every other day for a month straight. So every other day, same deal, wake up in the morning, 200 milligrams, except this time I give myself a day break in between dosages. And the thing I liked a lot about this one in particular is my sleep did not get fucked up as opposed to doing it for a month straight. When I gave myself a break between every day, I was forcing my, natural body responses to go to bed at a normal time, get enough sleep. When you're using it every day for a month, you can get away with, sleeping 4 hours a night very easily. But that doesn't mean sleeping 4 hours a night is healthy. Another thing I liked about this cycle is I had a lot better control over my appetite. When I had these day breaks in between my dosages where my appetite was normal as opposed to feeling not hungry hardly ever, I could use the opportunity to, kind of refuel my body. And the end result was I would feel more energized, believe it or not. Yes, taking less modafinil and feeling more energized. That's what food can do to you. Cycle number 3. This is a personal favorite of mine, and I use it every once in a while. It's 1 week on, 1 week off. And what I liked about this one as opposed to the every other day for a month thing, and certainly every day for a month, is I didn't have a problem getting back into the normal swing of things. You'll notice that if you use modafinil for a long time and you come off, there is an initial hit to the way you function because you're used to operating at such a fast-paced, efficient, motivated, mindset. And when you come off, it takes an initial hit. It certainly does. And it can vary depending on your own work ethic and, how motivated you are in general. But with this 1 week on, 1 week off stuff, I had very little problems, maintaining my flow of getting things done. Every few months or so, when I have a lot more things to do, I like to throw this one in there because it gets me good results. I usually say go for 2 to 3 days a week, but sometimes I just say fuck it. I want to use it for a week straight, and I do it. And if you're taking a week off in between, you're not gonna see any kind of huge negative side effects. As far as tolerance goes, if you have a week off in between 1 week cycles, your tolerance, it's really nothing to really worry about. Cycle number 4, the one that I currently use and the one I recommend most people use, is 2 to 3 days a week, 200 milligrams each time, first thing in the morning. And the reason I currently use this as opposed to the 1 week off, 1 week on cycle, it's not because of tolerance. It's just because for me personally, I don't need to be on modafinil for that many days in a row. But if that's you and you want to use it for a week straight, take a week off, hey, I'm telling you, you're gonna get good results from that. Great results. As far as a getting things done, productivity point of view, 1 week on, 1 week off is better than just 2 or 3 days a week, every single week. The reason I don't personally use it is because, I don't feel that I need it every single day of the week, and I like to have a somewhat normal appetite for most of my week. So that's my take on it. These are just different cycles that I've tried. What I say to everyone is, if you want to get the best results out of this, you have to experiment and find out what works best for you, man. Just because I tell you do this many times a week, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the best result out of it. This is something that I've done and it's worked for me. So keep that in mind. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay productive. I'll see you later.